Good morning, my dear students. Today we are going to continuing with our geography chapter 4 climate. Students, in our previous lecture we were studied about factors affecting India's climate, jet streams, western cyclonic disturbance. Now today I will explain you about the Indian monsoon, southern oscillations, El Nino, and the onset of the monsoon and withdrawal of the monsoon. Now, students, the Indian monsoon. The climate of India is strongly influenced by the monsoon winds. The sailors who came to India in historic times were one of the first to have noticed the phenomena of the monsoon. They benefited from the reversal of the wind system as they came by sailing ships at the mercy of winds. The Arabs who had also come to India as traders named this seasonal reversal of the wind system monsoon. Now, students, the monsoons are experienced in the tropical area roughly between 20 degrees north and 20 degrees south. To understand the mechanism of the monsoon, the following facts are important. First, the differential heating and cooling of the land and water. Now, students, the differential heating and cooling of land and water creates low pressure on the landmass of India, while the seas around experience comparatively high pressure. Now, second, the shift of the position of intertropical convergence zones, ITCZ. Now, students, the shift of the position of intertropical convergence zone in summer over the Ganga plain. This is the equatorial throw normally positioned about 5 degrees north of the equator. It is also known as the monsoon throw during the monsoon season. Now, third, the presence of high pressure area east of Madagascar. Now, the presence of the high pressure area on east of Madagascar, approximately at 20 degrees south over the Indian Ocean. The intensity and position of this high pressure area affects the Indian monsoon. Now, fourth, the Tibetan plateau get intensely heat during summer, which results in strong vertical air currents and the formation of low pressure over the plateaus at about 9 km above the sea level. Now, fifth, the movement of the westerly jet stream to the north of the Himalayas and the presence of the tropical easterly jet stream over the Indian peninsula during summer. Now, students, I explain you about the intertropical convergence zone. Now, the intertropical convergence zone is a broad throw of low pressure in equatorial latitudes. This is where the northeast and the southeast trade winds converge. This convergence zone lies more or less parallel to the equator but moves north or south with the apparent movement of the sun. Now, southern oscillation. Apart from this, it has also been noticed that changes in the pressure condition over the Southern Ocean also affect the monsoons. Normally, when the tropical eastern South Pacific Ocean experiences high pressure, the tropical eastern Indian Ocean experiences low pressure. But in certain years, there is a reversal in the pressure condition and the eastern Pacific has a lower pressure in the comparison to the eastern Indian Ocean. This periodic change in pressure conditions is known as Southern Oscillation or SO. Now, the difference in pressure over the Tahiti Pacific Ocean and the Darwin in Northern Australia Indian Ocean is computed to predict the intensity of the monsoons. If the pressure difference were negative, it would mean below average and late monsoon. Now, a feature connected with SO is the El Nino phenomena, in which a warm ocean current that flow past the Peruvian coast in the place of cold Peruvian current every 2 to 5 years. The changes in pressure condition are connected to the El Nino. Hence, the phenomena is referred to as ENSO, El Nino Southern Oscillation. Now, I explain you about the El Nino. This is a name given to the periodic development of a warm ocean currents along the coast of Peru as a temporary replacement of the cold Peruvian current. El Nino is a Spanish word meaning of the child and refers to the baby Christ as this current start flowing during Christmas. The presence of the El Nino leads to an increase in sea surface temperatures and weakening of the trade winds in the region. Now, the onset of the monsoon and withdrawal. Now, students, the monsoon, unlike the traders, are not steely winds but are pulsating in nature, affected by different atmospheric conditions encountered by it on its way over the warm tropical seas. The duration of the monsoon is between 100 to 120 days from early June to mid September. Around the time of its arrival, the normal rainfall increases suddenly and continues constantly for several days. This known as the burst of the monsoon and can be distinguished from the pre-monsoon shower. Now, the monsoon arrives at the southern tip of the Indian peninsula generally by the first week of June. Subsequently, it proceeds into two, the Arabian Sea branch and the Bay of Bengal branch. The Arabian Sea branch reaches Mumbai about 10 days later on the approximately of the 10 June. This is fairly rapid advance. Now, the Bay of Bengal branch also advances rapidly and arrives in Assam in the first week of June. The lofty mountain causes the monsoon winds to deflect toward the west over the Ganga plains. By mid June, the Arabian Sea branch of the monsoon arrives over Saurashtra, Kutch, and the central part of the country. The Arabian Sea and the Bay of Bengal branches of the monsoon merge over the northern western part of the Ganga plain. Delhi generally arrives. The monsoon showers from the Bay of Bengal branch by the end of June. By the first week of July, western Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, Haryana, and eastern Rajasthan experience the monsoon. By mid July, the monsoon reaches Himachal Pradesh and the rest of the country. Now, monsoon withdrawal. Withdrawal of the retreat of the monsoon is more gradually processed. The withdrawal of monsoon begins in the northwestern states of India by early September. By mid October, it withdraws completely from the northern half of the peninsula. The withdrawal from the southern half of the peninsula is fairly rapid. By early December, the monsoon has withdrawn from the rest of the country. The island received the very first monsoon shower progressively from the south to north from the last week of April to the first week of May. The withdrawal takes place progressively from north to south from the first week of the December to the first week of January. By this time, the rest of the country is already under the influence of winter season. Thank you, students.